Hey everyone, back again here with another hopefully quick video, and I don't start rambling on and on the way I normally do during these live streams. But I figured I'd do a really quick stream because it becomes easier for me to just do a stream straight instead of recording it and trying to overthink it as far as putting it back on there. I know that most of my videos are a little bit crude. Actually, all of my videos should be pretty crude, but hopefully, at least what I have to say is a little bit of value, and it makes up for the difference for the crude videos. But stopped in on one of my alternative comic shops uh, uh, on the way back from work, and I was one of the reasons I stopped by is I had told the um, LCS owner, I've been looking for a copy of Defenders #1, but I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. I told him, listen, it doesn't matter if it's you know, super high grade or not. I'm just looking to get something that's a little affordable. I just want to have it for my collection, just because I want to have a Defenders one. And he told me I have actually something that's mid to low grade, and I'll get it for you for like 25, $30, more or less. No problem. I just got to find it in my bins. And this conversation took place a little over a month ago. And every time I would stop in with him, he would tell me that he is still looking. He hasn't found it. And now, if you didn't go into this place, you'll kind of understand why he keeps looking, because the place looks like a nuclear bomb hit it. Uh, it is so tough to find anything, which is also a reason why sometimes you find some really cool stuff in his back bins, because he doesn't even know what he has in there half the time. So he had a hard time finding it. Ended up finding it today, and when I stopped in, I asked him if he had it, and he basically told me, yeah, he did find it, but he's gonna have to charge me $60 for it, where he had told me originally 25, $30, because he saw since we last well, since we talked about this the first time, the demand has gone up for it and the value has gone up for it. So I said, it's not kind of what we are talking about, but let me take a look at the copy. So he brings it out, and the thing was pretty gnarly. Um, it was definitely not on the closer end of mid. Definitely pretty low grade. I mean, the cover was still attached, but you could tell that it was separating. A lot of color breaks all over the cover. Um, Pretty gnarly book. So I asked him, "What makes you think that it's worth more than what we agreed to?" You know, now realistically, if he told me 35, $40, I wouldn't haggle with the guy. I would just buy it, whatever the case is, because I just wanted it. But going double from what we originally talked about, that kind of bugged me. And the reason I got more annoyed was when I asked him how he came to that. He's saying, "Well, that's what the market's dictating." I'm like, "Wait, hold on a second. I am actively looking on eBay. I'm looking at a lot of these sites. I'm looking at everything, and I would find, and I popped up eBay, and I saw the sold copies that were going for, I want to say, anywhere from like $40 to $70 in a much better grade than what he was offering me." And I asked him, "Well, if these are the price that they're going for, how are you asking me this price? Asking me for this much?" And he told me that he is not basing it off of what actually things sold. He's asking of what people are asking for or what potentially they will sell. So this is the craziness behind it, on what they potentially will sell for. Now, I don't have a fortune. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't do fortunes. If I did, I'd be a trillionaire, not a billionaire. I'd be a trillionaire if I had a crystal ball. Um, Especially in my profession that I do regularly. But I just said to him, listen, I can't do this. Keep it, sell to somebody here for 50, 60 bucks, whatever you want to sell it for. And maybe he will get it, maybe he won't. And then he said, I could give you a break for 50 bucks and sell it to you. I said, listen, I don't need the break. I'll take it. So I figured, let me go look through his dollar bins because he's got dollar bins, endless dollar bins of mangled boxes that are just sitting one on top of the other. And whenever I go by there, I'll take a quick look. And one of the reasons why I pick up a lot of dollar books is a lot of people, they like to dig them and find those hidden gems, and they like to find some interesting type of uh, hidden treasures where they're all valued. And it's nice when you come across something like that. But most of the time when I look through that stuff, unless I saw something previously that I know is hot, then I go back to them. Most of the time, I'm looking for stuff that I'm looking to discover, stuff that I haven't read before, stuff that maybe I'm curious about reading, but I'm not willing to pay, cover price or whatever it is. I'll wait until they go on dollar bins, and if they're around, they're around, then I'll get a chance to discover some new stories, some new art, and that kind of thing. And maybe some put together some runs and fill some spots that I need. So that being said, I talked enough. So let's get to the straight to the stuff. So the first book that I got. Oh, by the way, this guy's way of determining if it's a dollar book or not is he has a little X on it. So he puts a little circle with a little X on his books to um, qualify it as a dollar book. And by the way, here's another thing he does. Every time I take, which is annoying, I'll give him this much. If it's in a dollar bin, he's going to honor it. But he will sit there and if he sees books that he thinks are worth more, he'll sit there and he will check them out and then tell me about how a great deal I got. And, you know, his mistake is, he would never have done that. He kind of give me a whole speech about it, but whatever. So I found a few Ghostwriter books, which I found interesting because I have a lot of this second series of Ghostwriter from the '90s, and for a buck a piece, I don't mind assembling a lot of it. I'm not gonna pay the crazy money that a lot of things are going for right now, but and honestly, I have the expensive books anyway from this run. It's just filler books, so I got number 23, which is a great cover. Number 22, another decent cover. He's fighting the hand over here. I love, I love some Ghostwriter stuff. I guess I got them mixed up. I'll get back to the Ghostwriters, and let's put the Ghostwriter here in a second because I got a couple more of them in this bunch. Then the next thing that I got over here is this thing, Marvel Apes. I have no idea about this book. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I've never heard of this series. I've never read anything about the series. I didn't even know the series existed. All I see is something that says Marvel Apes. This is number 3 or 4. And it's got a bunch of heroes that have ape personalities. Like Ghost Rider over here. Look, yeah, Ghost Rider, Captain America Gorilla. I don't know who this chimpanzee is supposed to be. Really, really intriguing. So I had to pick this up. Yeah, that's my nature. I'm gonna read through this. I'm gonna take a good look at this, and I don't know if I'll be able to understand what's going on, but if I am intrigued enough by this one issue here, I'm gonna try to track down the rest of the series because it's only 4 issues, so why not? And if this thing is in a dollar bin, I'm assuming that's not worth much. These ghostwriters, it might be more than a dollar. It might be 2, 3 bucks a piece, or more, maybe even more if I, missing something. Next book I got here was a really interesting cover. It's the first family, And for everybody that doesn't know who the Marvel First Family is, it's the Fantastic Four. And really beautiful cover, really done well. I've never heard of this series as well. It is a number one, and I like the image that's here. I really do. Uh, Hopefully, there's a nice, fresh story that's attached to it. And this one I got for two reasons. One, I'm interested to see what this thing is all about, and two, there's a little bit of speculation that comes to me because considering how gorgeous this cover is, and they're called the First Family, and Fantastic Four is hot all across the board. For $1, I didn't mind specking on this book a little bit. By I'm gonna read it. Hopefully, I enjoy it. But if things go bonkers and hayryers, and for some reason they attach a picture that shows this scene or something like that to the movie or something, this thing is gonna go on fire. And if it doesn't, it's not gonna go much less than $1. So um, I'm hoping for a good story, and if it happens to pop down the line, it'll be fun reselling it. Next on the line is this is something that I've been starting to accumulate a little by little. I'm learning this whole New 52 thing little by little. I was not collecting during the time when all these 52 books came out, and um, this Batman series seems a little intriguing to me. I have a few already, and as I find them for cheap prices, I will pick them up just to start building this story together. Because I'm a little confused because the issues that I have are all scattered. Um, but I'll try to piece it together. Uh, this one's got Greg Capullo art, which I'm a very big fan of Greg Capullo. Uh, Epic final of the finale of the Court of Owls. Who the hell is the Court of Owls? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I'm interested. Not bad shape. With a press, it could become better shape. Next book is Journey into Mystery, Fear Itself. 626. Nice cover. It looks like this is Loki, maybe, and this is like maybe Surtur, the fire and all that. This looks like Loki. Um, Started finding these books here and there. I didn't realize that they had reversed the series back into Journey into Mystery at some point, the Thor series. So I'm intrigued by these. Started to pick up one book at a time as I find them. I think there's a few of them that are really high profile right now with like all these baby Loki and woman Loki books and whatever. I don't care about that stuff. But I'm intrigued to see what these stories are about. So I picked this one up for that reason. And it's a nice cover. Okay, cover. Next up is Captain America 268. And anytime I find um, issues of Captain America, Iron Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Hulk from this era. We're talking about these are Copper Age books from the 80s. This is from my time when I first started collecting. I'll pick them up. This one has an intriguing cover. It's got guest stars the Defenders. For anybody that doesn't know the Defenders, don't think there's anything significant to it, but nice Captain America classic cover, and features Steve Rogers' review of a Smash movie. What does that mean? I don't know, but it's got me intrigued enough to look it up. Uh, the book is a little wavy. But other than that, it's actually in really beautiful shape. A little press and it's done. This is a beautiful book. Happy to have it. Next on the line is Exiles, uh, Days of Then and Now. I think this says Days of Then and Now, and this is a one shot. So that's one big reason I got it, because I like to read things that are collective. Um, don't know what it's all about. I know that there was some kind of Exile series, but I saw this cover and I saw all these characters all here, then and now, and it's a one shot. So I'm hoping that it'll be an all inclusive story. Very interesting, very intriguing. It doesn't seem like it's only X-Men characters, because look at this. You have Spider-Man 2099 here. Um, some Namorita or Namora kind of character here. This is like the Swordswoman. Uh, Interesting. I'm intrigued by this book. And beautiful cover, by the way. I like the art. Hey, Tricky, how's it going? Hey there, Nadia. How are you doing? Looks like actually somebody discovered me. Wow. Then the next book I got is Marvel, The Invaders in Marvel Universe. Nothing of significance of this book other than the fact that it's a throwback to a lot of the Invaders books, possibly World War II books. And I know that these are not long lasting runs, so I might slowly start to build these runs up together. Decent shape. I enjoy those books. And then to piggyback that, I found this book, which I have zero idea what this book is. And if anybody knows anything about this, Invaders Now, and it says Dynamite Entertainment. I thought Dynamite was a different publisher, but it's Marvel. It's an Alex Ross cover, which is gorgeous. I don't think you could see I need to open this so you could really. Oh my god, this plastic is crappy. Really crappy plastic. Holy crap! What the hell? Um, Look at this cover. It's a beautiful cover. Uh, Shape is not bad. I mean, it's okay. You can see a little bit of a crease here. Needs a press or whatever. If I ever went to that extreme. But I've This is a pretty interesting damn book. The Golden Age Vision, Steve Rogers. I'm actually really interested in this book. Didn't even know it existed. So I'm glad I discovered this, because I'm going to read this and I'm going to try to get some. This is interesting for a newer book with a Nazi emblem. You don't see that too much, a swastika. That's interesting too. The more I look at it, the more intrigued I get to it. I love Alex Ross, so I'll pick up a lot of stuff for Alex Ross, regardless if it's good or not. And you know, just the way it is. So the next book on the list of stuff that I got from there is Ghost Rider number 18. Again, I got it for $1, but this one I got a little bit more of a reason just to fill the run. This is a gorgeous cover. It really is. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. If this was in a, it's not a horrible shape actually. This might be a very fine plus to near mint minus. Um, Maybe even better than that. If this was to get slabbed, especially if you put it like in an ESG, a EGS type of slab with a nice custom label on it, this book will look gorgeous. This Tricky, isn't this an awesome cover? It's a gorgeous cover. And by the way, I know there's a lot of debate, and people are putting a lot of value on some of the new stands versus the direct editions. I'm going to tell you guys something. When it comes to books like this, for me personally, to keep in my collection, I value having a little graphic like this instead of a barcode on the cover much more than a newsstand edition. Yeah, it might be worth more, but I'll tell you something. If I had two copies and they were both perfectly the same shape, if they were both exactly the same shape, what I would do is probably sell off the newsstand to whoever wanted to pay me crazy amounts of money for and keep this edition for myself. Why? Because I prefer this. I want it for my collection. But that's me. I don't know about anybody else. And then this, I think, is the last Ghost Rider book that I got. Uh, Ghost Rider 25. Now, this one is the only one uh, that is lower grade than the others. The other ones are much nicer grade. This one would have been a nicer grade, but I did notice something which I didn't like, but whatever. You see, it has a tear up here. You see that tear? Which is a shame because it's a beautiful cover, but it does look nice in its plastic. It's a great reader's copy. And there was something I remembered about this book when I got it. I was about to put it back because of the tear. Because when it comes to like really older books like Silver Age, Golden Age, and early Bronze Age, I'll look past some of the condition issues, like if there's a little tears, a little chips, a little chunks that are missing, if it's something that I want because of the age. But when it's the newer books, I'd rather them being in at least very fine plus condition, just because they're more available. But this book, one, forget about the fact that if anybody knows about these books, this is a really nice centerfold that was in here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. It's like a pop up, like when we were kids. You're reading the children pop up books. Look, I love that. I mean, look at that. Ah, bah. Like I love that. It's great. Um, it's a really nice touch. And there was also something else I remembered about this. I think there we go. This was the first real appearance of the Night Stalkers, the Darkhold. These are the first previews that they did. So if anybody's specking on this stuff and wants a really cheap book, because of the fact that Ghost Rider 28 and 31 are starting to heat up like crazy, and you just want a book that's cheap, just as a flyer, just in case all these take fire when Ghost Rider finally shows up in the MCU, this might not be a bad book to get in a good grade. You get this cheap, like really cheap. But notice this. This is what happens when you read them. You actually get to see what's in here. Night Stalker, first preview. I think it is, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, please. Darkhold, first preview. Morbius, which it's not really it matters because he's had other series and other appearances before that. I could have sworn. Oh, there we go. Spirits of Vengeance, premiering June. First preview. And if I'm wrong, just correct me. But I think might be it. This just might be it. Spirits of Vengeance. It's a really nice series. And this is something I forget all the time. I love these old Ghost Rider books because of the black borders around the panels. So much different from when you're looking at the white borders. It just gave that extra look, that it gave that feeling, that dark feeling of when you're reading a Ghost Rider book. It really worked out really well. And I love that. It's always fun to see actually some of this stuff. Look at this. Marvel Cards Series 3. One pack, $1. Box of 36 for $29.95. Crazy. Look at the prices. Spawn #1, $1.75. Regular $1.99. You're getting a discount. Really funny to look at these prices on these old books. Uncanny X-Men, X-Men 9, Ghost Rider, X-Men 10. Wow. Anytime you're opening one of these books and you're reading through them, um, read through these old advertisements and all these old promotions that they had for. You know what? I'm not going to put this back in here. This is disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. So, as far as the Ghost Rider run that we got is 25, 23, 22, and 18. And I got a bunch more of these other numbers. My run is almost complete of Ghost Riders, I think up to 50. Uh, very few books I need still to get there. So I like to end runs in very uh, even numbers. So, or like milestone numbers. So I like to have runs of like up to 25 or up to 10, up to 50 or up to 100. Like that's the way my brain works. Unless it ends at a odd or weird number. I stopped collecting right now, right around when Spirits of Vengeance came out. Missed out on these. Have to look for these. Um, you know what? Tricky. If you want to find them, these particular books that I pulled out here, they're not very expensive. Even in a really nice grade, um, you could find them relatively easy. Even in LCSs on eBay, you could get decent deals on them. You know, and if there's specific books that you want or whatever, uh, you know, like right now, I don't know what to do with this one. Like I want to read it. I remember the significance of it. But I think I might have another copy. I'm gonna check if I have another copy, and if I do, I might just either give it away or do something with it. I don't know. I'm actually planning on doing some kind of giveaway on a bunch of comics that I've been putting away. Like if you watched the stream yesterday, there was a couple books that I got duplicates of for the specific reason of putting them in a future giveaway on the channel. All I have to do is make sure that more than 2 or 3 people are watching me at any given time to make it fair as far as making a giveaway. So the next book is The Brotherhood #1. So when I first looked at this book, I thought this was some kind of like post-apocalyptic or some kind of like gang war kind of a thing or some kind of freaking weird Nazi book or whatever the case is. Then I remembered this is an X-Men related title. As weird as this sounds, with this kind of cover and this type, this is an X-Men related title. Which idea was great, Tricky? Because I throw a lot of ideas. I don't know which ones are bad and which ones are good. What's the great idea as far as the giveaway? If you're watching, let me know. So this is actually a pretty solid looking book. Near mint minus maybe, even better. So I remember something about this book as far as being somehow X related. And I'm gonna figure out what it is. I don't know if I can tell from here, but I'm gonna figure this out. But for some reason, something. I mean, I would have gotten this regardless, just because of the cover and the title. But I'm very curious about this. Look at these advertisements: Daredevil Yellow, Ghost Rider, Hammer Lane, The Punisher, Garth Ennis. That was a freaky run of Punisher. Um, Daredevil, Marvel Knights. Interesting stuff. Here's an advertisement for Exiles. I don't know. I got to figure out what the story is with this. There's something to it. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure out. If anybody knows anything about this book, other than it's somehow X-Men related, let me know. I'm hoping maybe it's part of Days of Future Past continuity or something like that. That would be interesting. That would be fun because I really love that storyline a lot, a lot. Like I love a lot of those stories. Um, Probably my favorite run of X Men is from 100 to I want to say the early 140s. I love all those stories. Chris Claremont was knocking them out one after the other back then. Next book I got, here's a obscure book, Beyond. This I have zero knowledge about. I've never even heard of it. It's a weird title, Beyond. It's 6 of 6, so it's the final issue. But look at the cover on this. A whole bunch of heroes all mangled and destroyed. This looks like it's Scarlet Witch and Venom and Deathlock and some kind of giant man looking thing and a whole bunch of characters here that are all mangled and destroyed and killed. This might be Cable. I don't know. Really, really interesting cover. Again, I don't have any idea. That's the exact X-Men run I'm rebuilding. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. You're gonna see. You're gonna appreciate something I got coming up right here. Tricky, there's something that I got that you'll like. Um, Here's another book that I found randomly in there. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, I typically would never pick up a book like this. Never. Not my thing. I always thought of Power Rangers as some kind of weird Voltron knockoff. Not my thing. Not my thing at all. At all. Like I think they kind of suck, the Power Rangers. But I found this book and I saw it's got some age on it. It's got $1.95 cover, so it's got to be at at the very latest, late '90s, early 2000s, at the very most. It's by Hamilton Comics, Sabins. Kind of crappy art. It's very crude. Nothing against the artist, but it's very simple line art that's on here. Not what you kind of expect seeing some of the modern stuff that they're doing right now with the Power Rangers. And I'm not into that at all. I haven't read any of that. I haven't bought any of that. Not into it. But I do recognize that there's a big momentum towards the Power Ranger. They're pushing that thing. Like they put a jetpack to it and they're running with it to the moon. Because of that, I don't know what this book is all about. This book clearly came out way before all the stuff that's coming out right now. All the hot stuff. I don't know if this is the first ever comic book that Power Rangers made, but for that reason, that I was so like intrigued by, is it not? Is this some kind of obscure variant book or whatever? I picked it up for a buck. Why wouldn't I pick it up? Conditions, not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Could be cleaned a little bit, maybe a little press, and it could come out to great shit if I choose to do that. If I choose to put the effort to do that. But I think this is a good. See, this is how I spec. When I see everybody zigging, I zag. Everybody's like focusing on a lot of stuff right now. A lot of this 80s nostalgia, 90s nostalgia. I haven't seen anything about this comic book anywhere. And to be quite honest with you, I haven't seen any acknowledgement of this comic book anywhere, which makes me think that nobody knows about this. And it's got very little recognition. So I bought this one. I'm going to keep this one in the collection. And this is going to go in my spec box. I have a little box, and I have books that I have for the pure reason that if they fly up crazy numbers, I'll throw them on eBay, make a couple bucks on them, and then buy other comics that I like. But that's me trying to have the hobby kind of pay for itself to some extent, but never does because I always spend more than I ever get. And I have a little bit of a control issue, and I can't let go of books, regardless how good they are. This I probably won't have any problem because I have no interest. I have no interest in Power Rangers. Hey, Evil, how you doing? I have no interest in Power Rangers. I have no interest in uh, turtles, in rabbit books, in all kinds of maybe bunny mask, but I'm not sure yet about that because it's weird. That's the closer you get me to get a rabbit book. Um, but this was an interesting find, and I'm gonna do some research on it. I don't know. Thanks for showing up, Evil, and showing some love. Yeah, maybe you know something about this. You have any idea, Evil? You know a lot more about comics than me. I was talking about rabbit books like Usagi Jimbo and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. I just don't have any interest in that stuff. I really don't. And everybody collects in a different way. Everybody likes the stuff. I could appreciate that other people like it, but I personally don't like them. The closest you get me to appreciating uh, animal people kind of books would probably be Thundercats. That's the closest you'll see me appreciating and liking and wanting to collect that stuff. The turtles, rabbit Usagi's, and even this kind of stuff. That's just not my thing. It's not. It's because I didn't grow up like in the full heat of this stuff. I grew up in the '80s. Like that. That was my best childhood memories. And we had Transformers. We had GI Joe. We had He Man. That was the stuff I liked. Um, So it looks like the first release of Saban's Power Rangers. All right, so you actually do know this book. Is this anything significant? Because I actually pulled this out of a dollar bin. The grade's pretty decent. Street Sharks and Mask. Yeah, I'm just not into that stuff. And I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. For anybody that has that question. But so Evil, you do actually know this book. I'm gonna put this to the side because this might be something that I have to do a lot more research on. I don't know. Like I said, I picked this up for $1, purely on spec. Just got back from the shop. I haven't even had a chance to look it up, and I will look it up. Think it's just the first comic, like the first ever Power Ranger comic book. February 9th. Oh, right. You're not that far from me, Evil. That's pretty good. I'm 77. I'm 44. Now we said our age. Now everybody knows how old we are and like how get off my lawn kind of people we are. So the next book I got, which was actually right next to the dollar bin, this comic shop has a ton of these true believers and um, facsimiles and these reprint kind of comics right next to the Age is a Blessing. Yes, it is, Evil. Right next to the dollar bins. I'm not sure if that's done by purpose, whatever the case, because they're cheap books. First, the release. I, now the more you tell me about it, Evil, the more intrigued I am about this. I'm gonna look this thing up. Let's see if I was able to pull off a really good buy, or if it's actually something significant. If this is something that's really desirable and people really, really love it, anybody that's watching this video right now, if you really like value this book and you think it's worth something, or if it's like very significant, let me know, and I'll put this away in a giveaway if that's the case. If you guys really, really want this, just I guess if I get enough people asking for this thing, I'll put it in a giveaway. Maybe if it's worth it, and maybe it's not, and I don't know what I'll do with it. But like I said, I got it for cheap. Don't think it's worth money. It might be not because I never look into the value. Well, that's a good idea. It's not. You might be better off not looking into the value because when you start taking that into consideration, like sometimes I do, it makes you buy stupid buys, and this might be a stupid buy. But again, like the rest of the stuff I got here for the majority is stuff that I generally enjoy. But this thing is, I don't know. I know that Power Rangers are popular. Again, I got it for cheap. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm sure if I give it to some kid, they'll love it. Um, Makes collecting funnier. Yeah, it does. So in that stack of facsimiles that he had and True Believers and stuff like reprints that he had next there, I found this copy. And the reason why I got this copy is I bought it as a spot filler in my collection. This is one of the books that I'm missing from 100 to 200. And I don't know if anybody's been seeing what's been happening with this comic. Facsimiles are always worth money, always. See, I don't even know if they're worth money, the facsimiles or the reprints. I know some might go up worth more money, but this I purely got because I absolutely love this whole run. Um, if it happens to be worth something, it's worth something. Right now, to me, it's worth $1. That's what I bought it for, and it's right onto the cover. That's what these true believers go for. Tricky, you got a X-Men 129, not the true reprint. How did you get a decent deal on it? Was it decent condition? Because I've been trying to find a reasonable price on the X-Men 129, and it's been going bonkers lately. Bonkers. They are not when the release, of course, but just as hard to find as the original. Sometimes, yeah, you're right, Evil. Evil, you are definitely right. Some of these reprint facsimiles and that kind of stuff are really, really hard to find. And I actually picked up some exact duplicate facsimiles um, because I love them so much, and I love the fact that in the exact duplicate facsimiles, they are exactly the same down to the advertisements, the back covers are on there. The only difference is the barcode and the price that's on there. Other than that, they're exact duplicates, and I love those books more than anything else because it makes me go back in time, especially if I find a book that I might already own that's of some type of value that I really don't want to be thumbing through and reading every time I want, you know, to enjoy the story. I won't feel as bad reading a reprint or a this is my version of digital comics. I don't like the digital comics. I don't like going online or reading them from a tablet and going through that stuff. I like hard copy. So if I could get a hard copy reprint of something and enjoy it that way, I will. Some even harder to tell the difference. Yeah, some are really really good. As far as thank you. I'm not the only one that hates digital. Thank you, Evil. There's something to be said for 7.5 on Macari. Very nice, Tricky. That's a very, very nice copy of this book. You want to share how much you ended up getting it for? Or should I be scared to ask you? But I enjoyed this book. Here's the last book that I got that was in the stack. Now, this one's cheating. I know that this is a dollar bin of thing that for everything for a dollar. But this was in the same stack as these reprints. And this is the totally awesome Hulk #1. Now, I don't really know much. Oh wow, 225. It's pretty good. That's actually really good for 7.5. Wow. If you could somehow manage to get it to 8 or 8.5, oh man, you just made out big time. That is great buy. That's a good book. Really good book. Really, really good buy, Tricky. Congratulations. Really, really good book. You enjoy that one, and I'll enjoy this one until I can find my own copy in good condition like that. 225, I would have jumped all over that. That's a great, great buy. Great buy. Um, so the last book I got was this thing, The Totally Awesome Hulk #1. And this one was not $1, but I got it for $3. It reprints issues 1 through 3 of this book. And I got this because one, I've never read any issue with this character in it. I think I own a couple of Champion books that he's a member in or something like that. But other than that, I have no understanding what it's all about. All I know is some younger Hulk with some poofy thing on his hair that's sticking up like that, like a little baby Hulk thing going on. He's got some black wristband thing. I think he's Korean or Chinese or something. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really read anything into this, so I'm actually really interested in reading this to see what it's all about. I don't know if issues 1 through 3 have some kind of origin in there, but I'm hoping it'll give me enough of a connection to know what this character is all about. And for $3, that's a great way to get introduced to Chinese. So he's Chinese. That's interesting. Wondering if they purposely picked Chinese to go after that segment of the globe because they're seriously expanding as far as MCU and everything like that going into it. No, this is a reprint, so I don't think this is ever gonna be of any significance. But I'm sure that the original copies, from what I hear, are going up exponentially. So at least now I know. And if I ever wanted to buy one of these to invest in, like one of the original books, at least I could get behind it. Because that's the other thing. I don't buy comics of any value unless I personally have some kind of connection to them and I enjoy. So if they ever go down in price, I won't be devastated. I still have it. I enjoy it. Same time, DC did an all new Superman. Uh, he was Chinese as well. Interesting. I didn't even know there was a Chinese Superman. That is super, super interesting. Really interesting. Wow. I know there's a black Superman that just recently was created. I didn't know there's a Chinese Superman. Wow. I feel left out. My background is Greek. Why don't we have a Greek Superman? I want one of those. Make one for every culture and every segment of the planet. I don't know. Maybe maybe even an Italian Superman. That would be interesting too. I don't know. Um, but really interesting. Wow, I'm shocked. So now I'm actually more intrigued to read this. Again, it's issues 1 through 3. Very hefty, thick book. Bought it for $3. Can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. So yeah, these are all pretty obscure books that I got. A lot of them don't have any continuity to them, any kind of. Well, yeah, we got Wonder Woman, we got Wonder Woman, and we got Hercules. Those are our Greek heroes. I can't complain. They're pretty powerful. My love for you just went up. Love Greece and love everything Greek. Love you too, Evil. Love you too. I don't know where your background is from, but if you like Greek, if you ever seen that Shazam, I don't think is Greek. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he does have a. I don't I haven't read a lot of Shazam books, so I don't know if he's got a Greek background. I don't think he does though. Maybe Aussie and German. Okay, Aussie and German. Oh wow, not that far from Greece in Europe. You got some great mythology too. Takes from the Greek myth. Oh, like you mean like from Mercury and all the gods that he got the strengths from, right? Zeus and Mercury, and that's how he got all his powers. You're right. You're right. I completely forgot that with Shazam. It's been such a long time since I read a Shazam book. I almost forgot his mythos. You're right. He's got all the powers of the Greek gods. A lot of DC characters have been based around Greek myth. Of course, because Greek myths were the original comic books. All those myths, all those stories that were being told, all the adventures of the heroes and the villains. That was it. You know, you know, I'm gonna take a page out of the old timers and or like if you ever seen that movie, my Greek fat wedding. Everything started with Greece. This is and and all the um, the world and civilization and everything is based off of Greek. So I take a lot of pride in that. But you know, there you go. Shazam is our Greek Superman. I'll take ownership of that. But I said I didn't want to make this a super long video, and I think it's already more than super long. Got all the books here. Everybody that's didn't see them, I guess you could see the replay. We're definitely going to check out what this is all about. I'm going to read this thing again because I love this story. And I'm going to read all these books, to be quite honest with you. I think I got some really cool stuff here. I appreciate every single person that has been chatting with me. I love the movie Abba. Oh yeah, man, Abba was done on the Greek islands, Santorini, I think, or Mykonos. Um, uh, no, actually, no. That was uh, Abba was the soundtrack to it. What was the movie itself? Now you got me stumped. Thanks, Tricky. Glad you appreciate the haul. Anybody want to mention anything about this or any about the books that I might have missed something significant about it? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna read them, mangle them, and they're gonna go in my box forever after that. Except for this one. This one, I'm gonna figure out what the hell it's all about. Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know. That's my spec book for the day. So that being said, thanks for joining me. And until next time, you keep collecting, and I will keep recollecting. Thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for the chat. Come on, how do you turn this thing off?